What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Booba Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very interesting news as newly crowned, undisputed junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many now to be top 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in Jermell Lions Only Charlo. Jermell Charlo is now 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 31 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 73.5-inch arm reach. He took on and defeated former WBO junior welterweight world champion, Argentinian star boxer, Brian Castano, in which it was a nip and tuck, highly anticipated, undisputed rematch of their July showdown that took place and ended in a draw, in which in this case, Jermell Charlo, he got a 10th round knockout victory, dropping Brian Castano twice and ultimately knocking him out in the 10th round to become undisputed, okay? So with that said, there's another fighter that was waiting in the ballots, and he was actually the reason that this fight was able to come to fruition, and that's Australian star boxer, junior middleweight title contender, superstar in Tszyu. Tszyu is 21 wins, no losses, no draws, 15 wins by way of knockout, 27 years of age, 5'8.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. With that said, Tszyu, he made his debut here in the States against Terrell Gausha. That took place March 26th of this year, in which he won a unanimous decision, but he faced adversity. He was dropped in the fight. He ended up dropping Terrell Gausha, and he won a unanimous decision. But Tszyu is the World Boxing Organization junior middleweight mandatory challenger. And the WBO, they stick to their rules. So Tszyu was initially supposed to fight Brian Castano. But Tszyu, he took step aside money to allow Brian Castano, Jermell Charlo, to have their undisputed rematch. And so with that said, he's on deck. And now Tszyu said he is not going to wait anymore. He has now contacted the WBO and informed them that he wants his opportunity to take place immediately, effective immediately, okay? And the WBO is willing to now put pressure on Jermell Charlo, okay, to make a decision, or he's going to be stripped of his titles, okay? So now Jermell Charlo, they're going to give him 90 days to make a decision as to what he's going to do next. And if he doesn't make a decision in that point in time, in this period of time, he's going to be stripped. So the president of the WBO is Francisco Varcarcel, okay? And now Jermell Charlo has 90 days. Now, obviously, Jermell Charlo, he made it abundantly clear that he's planning on moving up to middleweight, the 460-pound limit. And he stated that he's done everything he needs to do at 154. Now, he does have a WBC mandatory challenger in undefeated junior middleweight title contender, Mexican superstar boxer Sebastian Fundora. Okay, so Sebastian Fundora is Jermell Charlo's WBC mandatory challenger. Okay, so he has some serious mandatories that is going to be, looking to be satisfied, okay? And so with that said, Jermell Charlo, he's going to have a short period of time to make a decision, okay? Sebastian Fundora's 19 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 13 wins by way of knockout, 6'6" with an 80-inch arm reach at 24 years of age. He's coming off of the biggest victory of his career that took place April 9th when he took on defeated Erickson the Hammer Lubin, former foe of Jermell Charlo. So now, again, but the WBO in the world, the way they operate, Tszyu is number 1 on the list. Then comes Sebastian Fundora, okay? So with that said, now Jermell Charlo is going to be pressed to make a decision. Now, we know his identical twin brother, who is the undefeated 2-division world champion, and he's the reigning WBC middleweight world champion, Jermell Iron Man Charlo, okay? He is stating that he's going to move up to 168, super middleweight, okay? He currently has a fight coming up June 18th against Macy Selecki, in which he stated that it's going to be his last fight at 160. So if you Jermell Charlo at this point in time, I broke this down in the video I did yesterday. He can make himself the mandatory. As Tim Tszyu is making himself the mandatory for Jermell Charlo can now make himself the mandatory for Jaime Munguia at 160. Jaime Munguia is the mandatory challenger for the WBO at 160. The WBO champion at 160 is undefeated two-division world champion superstar boxer Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, who is now moved up to 168. He was supposed to actually have his debut at 168 against Zach Parker this upcoming Saturday, but he injured his shoulder and the fight had to be postponed. He was pulled from the fight. He plans on campaigning at 168 and looking to make himself the mandatory for the WBO title at 168 against four-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer, who currently is the undisputed super middleweight world champion in Saul Canelo Alvarez. So Demetrius Andrade is looking to make himself the mandatory challenger for Canelo Alvarez through, ironically, the WBO, World Boxing Organization. So he moving up from 160 to make himself the WBO mandatory challenger for Canelo Alvarez at 160, okay? At 168, excuse me. And Jaime Munguia is in line to fight Demetrius Andrade. But now Andrade vacates the belt. Jaime Munguia is going to be in line to fight for the vacant belt. Well, that's the perfect opportunity for Jermell Charlo to immediately attempt to become a two-division world champion. He gets to fight a massive fight, which would be the biggest name on his resume, which would be Jaime Munguia. Okay, so if he pushes to move up to 160, okay, instead of fighting Tim Tszyu, his mandatories, and defending the titles, he can go up to 160, excuse me, and challenge Jaime Munguia, who's 39 wins, no losses, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout, 25 years of age, 6 feet tall, with a 72-inch arm reach. Okay, so Jaime Munguia will be the biggest name on his resume. So he gets to fight Jaime Munguia, immediately fights for a world title at 160. Then you get Tim Tszyu, the belts become vacant at 154, excuse me. And, now Tim Tszyu will fight for the vacant WBO title at 154, okay? Fundora will fight for the vacant WBC title at 154, so on and so forth, okay? But Jermell Charlo, instead of defending his titles, now he goes up. He immediately gets a massive fight with Jaime Munguia for the WBO vacant 160-pound title, and he beats Jaime Munguia. He instantly becomes a two-division world champion, and he beats Jaime Munguia in the process. So that would be major for him, okay? And like I said, and then it would be, somewhat of a free-fall for the belts at 154. But we know Fundora will be fighting for the WBC title. Jaime Munguia will be fighting for, Sebastian Fundora will fight for the WBC. Tim Tszyu will be fighting for the WBO, okay? So with that said, that, in my opinion, if Jermell Charlo is looking to make a splash, well, he needs to do so ASAP. And what better way than have a massive mega fight already in place against Jaime Munguia, okay? Now, it's ironic because Jermell Charlo was in talks to fight Jaime Munguia June 18th, Juneteenth weekend, but that fell through as the Zone, they wanted to be a part of the promotion. They wanted to be a part of the fight itself. And PBC, Premier Boxing Champion Founder Advisor Al Heyman, and Showtime President of Sports Steven Espinosa, they didn't want any parts of that, okay? So with that said, the fight fell through. In this case, the fight, now we know Jermell is with the PBC as well, and he's with Showtime, but in this case, it would be ordered, okay? So Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions and the Zone won't have a leg to stand on unless Jaime Munguia goes in a different direction to fight for a belt. And why would he do such a thing when he was the WBO junior middleweight world champion to begin with? And now he gets the opportunity to fight for it. And he, too, becomes a two-division world champion if he beats Jermell Charlo. So it's the biggest fight in Jaime Munguia's career. It'd be the biggest fight in Jermell Charlo's career. And it just satisfies everybody across the board, okay? And maybe they have a rematch clause, 2-fight deal out of it. I think the styles would clash, would make for an entertaining fight. I still favor Jermell Charlo to make the necessary adjustments to win the fight. but it would be extremely, extremely exciting. Okay, so with that said, the WBO is going to give Jermell Charlo about 30 days to make a decision. And Tszyu, he stated that he's no longer waiting by. He wants his opportunity, especially after the words exchanged between Tszyu and Jermell Charlo after his fight over Brian Castano. With Tszyu, obviously, he feels entitled. He stated that, I'm the reason that you was able to have this fight. Jermell Charlo said, you ain't look good here. Who are you? What have you done? This is the States, so they went back and forth. And Tszyu is not having any of it. So now he's going to stand on the square. He already contacted the WBO, according to sources, and he's pushing for them to make a decision, which they're looking to make a decision ASAP. So expect to see Jermell Charlo move up and look to fight Jaime Munguia. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.